Greetings, everyone. It's been a while since I've just, got on here and talked and have been just open and vulnerable about, my path, the things that I've been experiencing lately, and honestly, just how I'm feeling, some insights. I have my oracle cards and my tarot cards today, just to accompany me while I'm speaking, to kind of share some insights. Lately with this shift that's been happening, the 2020, the new year, like my soul, it feels really good. I know that my blessings are here. I know that karmic blessings are here, and I am being blessed in every moment, in everything that I do and everything that I say. But at the same time, I've honestly been feeling a lot of sadness, and it's not even all dwelling from me, like my physical being as, Zami'Ra, it's from the collective, honestly. And I had to meditate on this for a few days because I'm like, is this something that I'm projecting for some reason? And if so, why would I be doing that? And I came to the conclusion that it's not. It's not something that I'm just projecting, like I just want people to be sad. But there's a lot of sadness that I've been feeling amongst the people, and it bothers me slightly because I don't know where it's coming from, particularly. I just recently got this gig back in October, and I'm pretty much like processing people's student loans. So I finally stepped into the corporate professional field, which if anybody knows me, they know that's absolutely fucking absurd. Like, why would I be doing that? So what pretty much happened is I was bartending for a while, and I got to a point where it was just the energy of a bar and alcohol. It's just I'm not meant to be in there for long periods of time. So I just stopped working for 8 months after I was bartending because my heart, that's the thing, I'm so sensitive and receptive to what I'm doing and where I'm at. And it's part of the fact that I am divine feminine. I am a receptive vessel. This is part of who I am and what I'm growing to be. The main thing that I've been trying to focus on now is kind of putting my heart into everything I'm doing, but not letting the thing move me so much so that I don't feel, happy and joyous. And I am realizing that this is the time that we are entering the chamber of healing again. A lot of shadow work. As you can see, the door is kind of dark. It's like a shadowy room. And this is about introspection. It's about going into ourselves and realizing, look, I don't feel, aligned completely. I know that I'm aligned with God and I am a reflection of God. I know these things. I've been walking this path, since I was 16 strongly. I know who I am, but it would be ignorant of me not to point out when I'm not feeling centered. What is this energy that I'm feeling? Why for some reason am I, not feeling aligned with myself? And then I was meditating on it, trying to figure it out. Path of the Divine Warrior. So it made me think okay, if I am a goddess, I am a high priestess, then there's certain responsibility and tests that I need to experience. There's certain, tests of resistance specifically of my shadowy self that's meant to titillate me. Because if it doesn't titillate me, and it doesn't pushes me, and it doesn't urges me to do something, then I remain the same on this plane. And when we're ascending, it involves ever-changing motions. We are infinitely changing. We are infinitely growing. So we need those tests that kind of, push us and make us, slightly knock us off of our center. Because if we're always centered 100% of the time and we're infinitely in line and in balance, then are we ever really ascending and progressing? So I'm realizing that it's part of my destiny and it's part of my path as a high priestess and as a goddess to experience certain things, to experience certain shadowy entities. Let me just say that. So when you are a light, when you are the light, and you are building up your light force, so much so that you are shining just so bright, beyond what we can even perceive as bright, brilliant light, then there are certain energies and certain entities who are going to see that as God. And they're like, yo, if we think about ourselves when we were, young, we were a kid, when we were in church, or even right now, like society, people, when we're woke, we want to be as aligned and close to God as possible. So when we think about that in this dimension, when we are God, we are the light to other entities that don't even exist here, or do. We're like the source of light. We are the energy. We are the sun. People want to get close to the sun, There's people who move down here to Florida from up north. Here we go. The full new beginnings, new year, new year. But anyways, there are people who come down here and move to Florida just for the sun. There are entities who are going to move and try to get closer aligned with us because we are the sun and we are God. And this is part of the life path of the divine warrior, to experience this, to experience other lower frequency beings that want to attach themselves to us. That part we cannot change, because the law of polarity, light and dark, up and down. If we are light, dark is going to want to attract to us, magnets. But we do not have to let certain low frequency beings attach themselves to our energy source, to our kundalini, to our power source, to our solar plexus. We can shine brightly, but we have the divine authority over ourselves as a sovereign being to be like, with love, you cannot dwell here, you cannot stay here, you cannot live here. I am creating a space based, and the foundation is unconditional love and healing for myself and the collective. And if these energies are around you and that's not what their intention is, then we have to release them, because the only reason that the energies are attaching themselves to us in the first place is because at some point it was in the fine lines. We didn't read all the fine lines and we allowed it to happen. But it doesn't have to live with us and follow us, and it doesn't have to follow us forever. And when we're making these new transitions, like going into the new year or the new year, this frequency of the 4 to in 2020, we're creating firm boundaries. We're creating firm boundaries of what we're going to allow in our space and what we're going to allow to persist in our reality. So what I was noticing with these mood swings, I'll get back to that card in a second. But what I was noticing is that I was having these mood swings, like where I would be happy. I'm doing something that I love. I'm singing or I'm painting or whatever. But I'll get these mood swings that out of the blue I'll start feeling sad, and it'll last for like 30 to 45 seconds. It's not something majorly that makes me want to like go into a deep dark depression, but it's like, where is that coming from? So it would happen in small increments, and then it would be happening more rapidly until I had to address it. And you literally have to speak to yourself, your energy, your angels, and whomever else is trying to attach themselves to you. When you are a god and you are a goddess and you are unapologetically shining your light, there are going to be other entities, other energies, other people who might not even speak to you, but they're looking at you and they're attaching themselves to you, and they know that you are a healer. This is the law of polarity. It's balance. They want to find God. They want to be close to God, just like you want to be. So we have to be compassionate with these energies. We don't need to banish anyone, anything. We don't need to send you into the depths of eternal hell and punish you, aka the energies. We just need to release them with love, saying, I love you and I honor what you do and your purpose, and I know why you're here. However, you are not allowed to dwell in this space, because the energy that I am creating, the things that I am manifesting, you are not allowed here. And you have to speak to yourself like this. And you have to speak to your shadow self like that as well, to know when is the appropriate time to arise and to be in that phase, and then when is the appropriate time to get to business. And I've been learning a lot about just being more compassionate with people and being more just compassionate and all, and more receptive to people who need my help. With this Lover's card, Twin Flames, Divine Union, I do have the honor and the privilege to be in a consistent relationship with my twin flame. We've been together in the physical now, knowing each other for about 3 years, and I learned so much just about introspection and shadow work and knowing where I stand and knowing how to set boundaries, because if I don't, it is very easy to get lost in your soulmate. It seems, the songs talk about it and it seems like some type of, cool idea, but it's so easy when your thoughts are this closely aligned, when your energies and your paths and your soul is this closely aligned, to get lost in it. Because at the end of the day, his thoughts are not my thoughts. His actions are not my actions. His actions are his actions. My actions are my actions. His thoughts are his thoughts. My thoughts are my thoughts. But when we combine them and join them together, we're able to create situations and energies and manifestation and creative endeavors that, surpass what we could even believe that it would be. But, not getting lost in thinking that person's thoughts and actions and all of that is yours. Because we need to set clear boundaries even in our soulmate or twin flame relationship. That's like, we are one. Yes, we are. We share one soul, but we are two separate entities. That's why we have two different bodies. Everything doesn't need to be 100% aligned with each other. In fact, true twin flames they have one soul, but they're direct opposites. Me and Z, we are. We're so similar, but at the same time, we're so different. But it's beautiful because I'm learning more just about energies and polarities, and even how that manifests in other dimensions when other energies and other entities want to attach themselves to me. So last night I did like this it was beautiful, this very beautiful and intense meditation where I had to release any energy that was attaching themselves to me. And what I was noticing is that there are people that I've even connected to in this lifetime that, we had moments where we shared deep insights and we may have been friends, but I had to release them, whether it be for my own good or their own good or both of our good, or because we just naturally went our separate ways. Even though I'm not communing with certain people anymore, I know that they are still attaching their energies to me, and it may not even be their intention to project low frequency like energy onto me, but at the same time they could be doing it subconsciously. So I just had to release them and release that energy in a very compassionate way. It's very important when you're releasing energies to do it with compassion, because you don't want to create any type of grief or anguish in another energy, because that could backfire to you. That is a reflection of you, so you're sending that same energy back to you. Just like we want people to be compassionate with us, we should be more compassionate with people. Even people who sometimes are consciously trying to send ill will our way. That's something else that has been popping up. Like, I know, I just said ill will. This is talking about illness, sadness, or worry. There are people who are sad when you're going to disconnect from them. When you release them, they're going to be sad. And we also have the authority not to let that sadness bother us, not to let that grief or anguish move us, especially if we have an intention of why we are doing it. Like, there's a purpose for it all. You don't have to allow anyone or anything to attach to your energy field if you do not want it to be. And if you notice it and it pops up, because you'll start feeling mood swings, you'll start feeling where'd that come from? Like, things just aren't lining up. You know when you're not at your center. You know when you're not on your A game. And I think it's important to be honest with ourselves when we are feeling that way, because we need to address it. We don't need to let it go on and on, and letting these things attach to us. Okay. 3 of Wands, teamwork, determination, and focus. And at the same time, we have to be mindful not to exclude everyone. Like, not hermit mode is necessary. That solitude, that meditation is necessary. But if we become so closed off in our own shell, it reminds me of like spontaneous human combustion. Like all of this energy is building up inside of you, and your vessel is only so big. We're in human form right now, so we only have so much space to work with. That's when we start imploding from the inside if we don't then share it. So that's why I'm here today. I made the decision, like, you know what, I was telling you earlier about how I got this gig, like processing student loans, and it's just, it gets, sometimes, because it's like these people are calling you, sharing their problems, like, and although I chose to be there and this is my job, it's easy, I'm good at it, I know how to do it, but spiritually, I've noticed that I was enabling certain energies to attach themselves onto me, even by being in that space. Get what I'm saying? So these people aren't intentionally trying to be like, I'm going to project ill will, but they're sitting here telling you about all their problems and why they can't pay this, and you need to do something to fix it. But at the same time, on the spiritual level, you're allowing that in. But also on a spiritual level, you are resolving that issue, because that's what we're getting paid to do, to resolve the issues that the people are calling you about. So it's all about finding that balance. Today I decided that I'm not going in. I needed to have a day to myself. I needed a day to release this energy and these insights that I have been feeling. I just need a day to speak, because I'm so used to, especially lately, speaking less. I want my art to speak for itself. I want my music to speak for itself. I want to know what your intuition tells you when you hear that song, when you hear that painting. Like, I don't want you to just ask me, oh hey, what were you thinking when you did that? Although it's cool and it's small talk, I would rather know what you feel when you saw it initially. So this time with this teamwork in this 301, it's been really about communing more with people, communing more with Reflectionz, and communing more with God in this shadow work when we're in this chamber of healing, because we need that time. We need that time to release. We need that time to be honest with ourselves. Actually, I'm going to close out with one more from the Isis Oracle deck. This is a beautiful, 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 beautiful deck with the scarab beetle. One more closing card, and then I'm going to wrap up. If you made it this far, thank you guys for listening. I've been feeling it on my heart very strongly today to just share more, speaking specifically, because I know that there are people out there who kind of wonder, like, what is she thinking? How does she... and that's not even just narcissism. It could be looked at a certain way, but it's like, I know who I am, and I know what I am, and I know the type of effect that I have on the collective, and I know that people want to know, and I'm not always receptive to just giving it out and sharing handouts. I'd rather give you a song or give you a painting to let you know, this is how I'm feeling, this is what it is. So a beautiful, beautiful card to close out with: Initiation, Spiritual Testing of Ra and Lady Isis. So that's what this is all about. These energies attaching, tests. You're being initiated. You are a god. You are a goddess. Like, you have to expect certain tests to come your way. If you don't overcome these tests, how do you expect to be on the throne? That's why the mystery schools exist. That's where all these organizations and what people say is cults. It's like, because you have to go through certain initiation before you just call yourself a high priestess. You don't wake up one day and it's like, okay, I'm a high priestess. It's like, oh yeah? What have you gone through? What are you continuously going through? What work have you done? How often do you do shadow work? How often do you commune with God, with your light self? How often do you commune with the collective and the people who you know are going to come to you for help, because you are a healer? If you are a healer, expect people who aren't healed to come to you and to even subconsciously project their issues onto you. When we think, again, of God, people are always going to God asking for help. Can you help me with this? Can you make this better? Can you make this better? It's going to happen. It's part of the initiation. It's part of the test. But in 2020, with that 4 being the foundation number, we are setting clear boundaries. I am open to help when I want to help. I'm not going to help every person that comes to me saying, can you help me? Can you help me? Can you help me? No, I'm going to give you the tools on how you can help yourself, because at the same time, this is me helping myself. This is me helping the collective. This is me doing God's work. It is an honor to serve. So I know I've been rambling a little bit, but I'm so glad that I got this out. I feel good. I feel better. And thank you guys for listening. I want you to take away from this that the things that are going on and those mood swings, those shifts that you know are happening in your life, is part of your initiation. You are being initiated. Don't fail on yourself. Don't let yourself down. Don't, wallow in your own self-pity. That's easy. That's the easiest thing to do. We are gods, we are goddesses, we are the high priestess, and we are the high priest, and we have a certain duty to hold up for ourselves, and for the collective, and for God. Live by it. Be it. Thank you for listening.